has been a minute since I have filmed a sit-down video. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag. I wasn't tagged by anybody. I just think these are really fun to watch. They're some of my favorite videos. With that being said, I'll go ahead and jump on into the first question. The first question is, what is the best book you've read? And for me, that is by far The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I was absolutely destroyed by this book. It just wrecked me. I am not a book crier, and I was a sobbing mess at multiple points in this book. I was so attached to the characters. I felt what they were feeling. I felt like I was in this story, and I think that it takes a lot for an author to make her reader feel like I did. I read it about a month ago and I still cannot get my thoughts together on it. It is by far the best book I read this year, best book I've read ever. Amazing. If you have not picked this up, I highly recommend this one. The second question is, what is the best sequel that you've read this year? Funny enough, I've only read one sequel, but it works out because it was a 5-star read for me, and that was Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. I really love Cassandra Clare's writing. I think her world is just amazing. Her characters are so great, and so Clockwork Prince was not an exception to that. I absolutely love each and every character. I love the world. I was so immersed in everything. The third question is, what is a new release that you are excited for but you haven't read yet? And for me, that is probably A Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds. I hope I said that in the right order. But the new Hunger Games book, I was really excited for it. I pre-ordered it and I heard mixed reviews on it, and I heard that it's a lot better if you read the Hunger Games books before you go into it, which I have read, but I don't remember too many of the small details and everything, so it is something I want to reread before going into it. And like I said, I did pre-order it, but the book came in really dirty. I'm not really sure why. The pages were all like, it looked like it had been wet, and then when you open it, there was like dirt inside of it. So I don't know what kind of journey my book took on the way to my house, but I did return it and I haven't picked it up yet. The next question is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of 2020? And this is kind of embarrassing. I am really bad at keeping up with new releases. I usually only really pay attention if it is an author that I am really excited about releasing a book. Otherwise, I kind of just wait until I hear about it from someone else, which is probably really bad. But that being said, the only new release I can really think of that I am excited for is Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. Even though I realize that that book has kind of been written, like we have Twilight, which is from Bella's point of view, and then we have the Life and Death book where the genders are switched, so Bella's character is a boy and Edward's character is a girl, and now we're getting Midnight Sun where it's from Edward's point of view. So I understand it's going to be the same story, but there's a part of me that is just so excited. It brings back the high school excitement. The fifth question is, what has been your biggest disappointment? And for me, that was the 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. I kept seeing Goodreads reviews where people were saying this was their new favorite book and how great it was, and just everybody needs to pick it up. So naturally, I wanted to pick it up, and it actually worked out because 2 book clubs that I like to take part in picked it as their book of the month, and so I read it, and it took me forever. I didn't even participate in the discussions for the book clubs because I wasn't done with it. It took me over a month to read. It was something I dreaded picking up. I think I read 5 books in between maybe more than that. It doesn't matter. I read a lot of books in between just because I needed like palate cleanser, because I found the story really boring. I didn't like the characters except the dog, and it didn't do anything for me, which is really sad. The next question is, what has been your biggest surprise so far? And for me, that is Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I am not a huge middle grade reader. It's usually something that I enjoy when I do pick it up, but I don't know, I never venture off to the middle grade section of my Barnes & Noble. So I kept seeing reviews on this saying that it was so great. People were comparing to Harry Potter. That definitely piqued my interest. So I did pick this up and I loved it. I definitely do see the similarities between Harry Potter and this. I think there's only one more book out right now, but it is a series that I do want to continue on with because I did love the world. I loved the characters. They were great. I loved Morgan. She was just such a great main character. She was very different. This definitely got me wanting to read more middle grade, so it's definitely a great surprise. The next question is, who is your new favorite author, whether it's new to you or a debut author? And that is Kristen Hanna. She wrote The Nightingale. The Nightingale was my first introduction to Kristen Hanna's writing, and oh my gosh, can this girl write. I loved her writing style. I loved that it was beautiful, but it wasn't super flowery. I feel like a lot of times when writing gets really flowery or over the top, the story gets lost in that, and this was not like that at all. I really didn't want to pick the same book for a question, or I guess this isn't the same book, it's the author, but I just loved it, love the characters, love her writing, so I'm definitely excited to read more from Kristen Hanna. The next question is, who is your new fictional crush? And for me, that is...
Hey friends, so my answer to this question has actually changed. I just finished the romance book club right after filming, and I'll just say Gavin Scott has taken the crown for my number one fictional crush so far this year. I mean, a hunky baseball player who is trying to win his wife back. How could we not fall in love? However, we love a good fictional crush on this channel, so I will still mention my second place as well.
Josh Templeman from The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. He is sarcastic, he's a little mysterious, he's just perfect. He is the perfect love interest, the perfect fictional crush. I loved him. The next question is, who is your newest favorite character? And I know I said I was not going to use the same book, but here I am lying because my newest favorite fictional character is Isabel from The Nightingale. Isabel is amazing. She is such a strong, independent, fearless female character. I could go on and on about how much I just adore Isabel from The Nightingale. Isabel's great. She's amazing. Love her. The 10th question is, what is a book that made you cry? I'll pick a different one for this one because I cannot pick The Nightingale for every single one. Full Tilt by Emma Scott. This book I mentioned, I want to say it was my April wrap up. I wasn't the biggest fan of this book. It kind of let me down a little bit, but nonetheless, the end got me. I did cry. I didn't cry anywhere near as much as I did in The Nightingale, but for the sake of picking a different book, we're gonna go with this one. The 11th question is, what is a book that makes you happy? And that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love this book so much. It is everything I really wanted in a book. It has music, it's behind the scenes, it goes into songwriting, and I know these people are not real, but oh my goodness, what I wish they were. Even though this book does cover some pretty heavy topics like drug use and alcohol addiction, it still was just a book that filled me with so much happiness because we were able to go into the songwriting process with them and see their tour life. And so mixed in with all those kind of heavier topics, there were a lot of happy moments that I loved. And so this is another absolute favorite book of mine, all time, of the year. I love it. The next question is, what is the most beautiful book that you've bought this year? And this is actually one I haven't read. That is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This cover is just stunning. It's like, I love it. I love the spine. It's just beautiful. And then when you think it can't get better, this is just beautiful. I'm actually obsessed with this cover. The final question is, what books do you want to read by the end of the year? And there are a lot. I have some books on hold on my Kindle. I've wanted to reread some books. I have my TBR shelf, but for the sake of time, I am going to just show you guys my TBR shelf is right there. So we will take a little tour of that.
So some of these books are different than the ones that are behind me because I cannot stick to a TBR and I'm constantly changing the shelf. But there are some summertime books in here and just some books that have taken me way too long to finally get to. So these are the ones that I am currently trying to prioritize.
So that was my mid-year freakout tag. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these or if any of them are on your TBR to read for the second half of 2020. Let me know in the comments what you guys plan on reading, what you have read, and if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more bookish content from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!